Hello class. Today I will be lecturing about the evolution of women in higher education. You should have received a copy of the PowerPoint and outline that I will be referring to during the lecture. I will discuss 4 different time frames as outlined. Now be sure to take notes because there will be a short quiz at the end of the lecture. But first, I'd like to take a minute and everyone think about how many career women do you know? I mean, women professors, women teachers, women doctors, women lawyers, and I'm sure everyone know about Hillary Clinton. She is our Secretary of State. Well, if things would have continued from the way they were back in the 1900s, there would be fewer career women. In fact, I probably would not even be lecturing. I would be in the kitchen cooking. Because in the 1900s, and this is going to be on the test, it's actually going to be a freebie. Women were to be in one particular status. And in the 1900s, they said women should be barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. Again, a freebie for the test. Women were to be barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen. The evolution of women in higher education has been a long process with many struggles and challenges. Starting in our colonial period from 1900 to 1920, the purpose of attending higher education, as the author Thielen stated, it was for the sons of the wealthy families to experience the college, to see how college was, to obtain social economical mobility, which means they were to climb the corporate ladder, to increase their earning power, and for them to also associate with other students from wealthy families. Because in many cases, their fathers did not have an opportunity to experience college, and they wanted their families to, their sons to. You may ask, now, what does this have to do with women? Well, the wealthy mothers wanted their daughters to experience this college as well, which I am so glad the wealthy mothers did, because the daughters of the wealthy women attended college back in 1900, and that's how we started with women in higher education. Of course, they had to be brave, because going to a co-education college with all of those men were quite challenging. Right now, we're going to take a PowerPoint break, and we're going to have a look at our PowerPoint. As you can see, the top picture is the biology lab, and this is during the time frame 1900 to 1920. As you can see, it's only men, and they were probably studying to be doctors. Remember back in the day, the doctors had their little bags, and they would go house to house to the covered wagons between the Indians and the cowboys. I'm getting a little carried away. Let me get back. Yes, they were probably doctors. But as you can see, there was one little brave woman with all of these men. Women had to be brave because the men were rude. The professors discriminated against the women. So the women had many challenges trying to attend co-education colleges. For this reason, the author Wren spoke about a female freshman. Her name was Will Elliott. She was pushed against a banister and got a bloody nose. And out of 250 men that were walking around in the college, no one stopped to help her. Nevertheless, things have changed. And during our next time frame, we'll see some of these changes. This is the Roaring Twenties, and its time frame is from 1920 to 1945. During the Roaring Twenties, the women were in the door, and the men were really enjoying these women. The hottest thing moving during this time frame were the swinging co-education student parties. As the author Thielen pointed out, there were homecoming parties, there were commencement parties, there were proms, there were year-round fraternity parties, and all of them were associated with alcohol, bathroom gins, speakeasy, gambling, And this was characterized by the Roaring Twenties. There were movies and articles written about the wild women, and they were actually referred to as love-hungry girls. A lot of them were going to co-education colleges to get their MRS degrees. This is another freebie for our test. An MRS degree, M as in Mary, R as in red, S as in smart. The MRS degree meant to find a wealthy man and get married. Again, the MRS degree meant to find a wealthy man and get married. Let's go to our PowerPoint right now and have a look at one of these love-hungry girls. Well, it looks to me as if that male was a love-hungry male. However, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the good girls. The good girls enrolled in all-women colleges because they were serious about staying focused and pursuing their career. There were several all-women colleges constructed to meet the needs of women students. And here on our PowerPoint, we can see the Bernard All-Women's College. Look at it. You don't see legs, arms sticking out. These women were focused. They were serious. So far, we have wealthy men and women attending college. But all of this changed in our next time frame, which is called the Golden Age. The Golden Age was from 1945 to 1970. And they call it the Golden Age because this is the time period that the colleges were enjoying support, and they had the 3 P's. The 3 P's were prosperity, prestige, and popularity. Okay, during the Golden Age, the colleges were experiencing the 3 P's, which was prosperity, prestige, and popularity. Not only were they experiencing the 3 P's, but the war was over. And the veterans came home, and the GI Bill was issued, which encouraged the veterans to attend college by paying for their education and giving them money for living expenses. Let's sing that song. Let's take a little break here. Sing our song, our GI Joe song. G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe, so off to war I go. I believe that's how it went. But nevertheless, many of the veterans were women from different ethnic groups, backgrounds, and economical statuses, and they were able to attend college through the GI Bill. Furthermore, more doors were opened for women to attend college through federal funding of the Pell Grant, the National Defense Loan, and other loans. Therefore, the colleges no longer consisted of just the wealthy, but it was infiltrated with a mixture of men and women from many different ethnic groups. And that brings us to our last time frame, which is the modern time, the time that we're in right now. It's from 1970 to 2012. 2012. The tables have turned. There is a larger diversity of students enrolled in higher education from all nationalities, all economical backgrounds than ever before. And there's an increased amount of women in all roles of undergraduate, graduate, and professional students. And finally, we now have many career women in higher education. There are women as student athletes, women coaches, women professors, and Ashford University has a woman president. Her name is Elizabeth Tice, T-I-C-E. Again, Ashford University has a woman president. Her name is Elizabeth Tice, T-I-C-E. Hint, hint, test. Women represent about half of the medical degree recipients in several fields. In 2007, women earned 44% of the doctorate degrees in biological science. Again, let's repeat that. In 2007, women earned 44% of the doctoral degrees in biological science. Let's go to our PowerPoint. And as you can see here, there are a variety of women in higher education, graduating with degrees in every imaginable career. In conclusion, women have come a long way, and now they can pursue a successful career, bring home the bacon, and cook it too. That concludes our lecture. Are there any questions? Thank you.